All right, welcome back to another episode of Downloadable Content. We are SJ.
And Alex Herschel. Today, we're going to talk about the most recent Nintendo Direct.
Let's get right into it. So I realized before we get into this Direct, we haven't really talked about the Kirby Direct. Air Riders.
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
I didn't watch it. No, it was on a day where I had a lot going on, and then the next day I also had a lot going on, and then at that point, like, no one else that I was talking to was talking about it, so it's like it just kind of faded out of memory, and until you mentioned it just barely, I kind of forgot that they had even done one.
Well, I'm excited for that game. I don't know if it's necessarily a day one buy, but I'm excited. The Direct looked cool. Did you ever play the one on GameCube?
No, but we've talked. Well, I think I've played it like once or twice. I never owned it.
Okay.
But we've talked about it extensively. I know that you've got a lot of love and appreciation for that game for a variety of reasons.
I think part of that game's struggle will be people that have nostalgia attached to it. It will really understand why it's a great game, but people that don't, like, if I had never played the original Kirby Air Ride, I would not be remotely interested in this game. Like, I just wouldn't. But because I played the original and I know how it goes, and this is just building on top of that, it's got me pretty hyped. So I'm curious to see how it'll do sales-wise. And there's supposed to be another Sakurai's, like, Direct on it before it comes out.
I will say, though, I do like the whole interchangeable parts of the amiibo that they're releasing.
It's really cool.
I like that a lot. And I kind of hope that if amiibo or if there's another, if they replace amiibo with something else, right? I do like that customizability and hope that that's kind of a feature in more products moving forward.
Yeah, and they're going to release more than just the Kirby and bandana Waddle Dee too, so that'll be really cool. Prices though, well, I guess that's something we can get into once we start going through the Direct here. Anything else you want to bring up before I pull up the Direct?
No, still chugging along on Hollow Knight.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm in a tough spot just because so there's a couple of things, right? Like there's a lot going on, right? And I jam pack my Mondays through Thursdays with getting everything done so that, I can enjoy my weekends and stuff. But it's also football season, which means that a lot of my time is spent watching football. However, luckily, Hollow Knight, while being a very beautiful artistic game, is not the most cinematic. So, in a case where I'm watching a football game, right, and there's lots of timeouts or lots of pauses in between plays and stuff, it's great to be able to watch football. And if I don't need to be watching the in-between for anything, can be chugging along in Hollow Knight, make bits of progress along the way. So I'm still not crazy far into it. For those of you that have played it, I just barely got to the City of Tears for the first time. And from what I understand, that means that I'm like 25%, maybe a third, depending on how much extra stuff you do.
How many hours so far?
I think it's at like 10, I think.
Okay. Oh, dang. So it's a fairly chunky game for a
So on how long
title.
to beat, if you just rush through the story, it's like 25.
Okay.
But if it's one of those games where if you try to do 100%, you're looking at like 90 to 100.
You're like backtracking, exploring areas.
Doing all the extra areas, all the extra upgrades and unlockables and stuff. So,
gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, big range. But yeah, that's where I'm at for that.
Well, good stuff. I actually have a gaming update as well. So I traveled out of town for work toward the end of last week, and I was wondering whether to bring my Switch or Steam Deck. And I decided to bring neither and take my PS Vita with me and play a ROM hack called Pokemon Radical Red. It's a ROM hack. I told Alex about this already, but it's a ROM hack that has all current Pokemon generations, 1 through 9, and all mechanics. There's Mega Evolutions, there's Gigamaxing, all the stuff. And so far, the difficulty has been really good. Like, really good. And you literally cannot overlevel yourself because it has a system to automatically enforce a level cap. Once you reach your level cap, every win that you get in a battle, you only get 1 EXP from it. So you just don't level up. And it provides for a really good challenge. And usually with these kinds of games, I imagine most people are, composing certain types of teams for every boss battle, gym battle, rival battle, and stuff. But I don't like to swap my team out like crazy like that because I like to have some kind of sense of camaraderie with the Pokemon team that I assemble. So, it's clearly a diverse team, which means that it's not going to be particularly super strong against any given boss that I fight, any, gym leaders and stuff. So that makes it pretty challenging. And it's been really fun. Yeah.
There you go. So SJ, while you're getting it set up, I'll remind our audience kind of what's going on here. So Nintendo Direct happened back on September 12th. Today is currently the what? The 6th?
The 16th.
16th. Yeah. So we've kind of had time to watch it, sit with it, and go from there. So for our video watchers, you'll have the Direct up here with you so you can watch along. Mm-hmm. For audio only viewers, we'll do our best to try to describe games as best as we can if they're under the radar. Question: Is this new intro screen? Is this a new one, or have they used this one before?
I think it's new.
Okay, so that's what I thought.
It looked new to me,
and I really liked it.
Yeah,
it's such a small detail, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, because it's usually the ribbon,
swirling through the white.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it wasn't that. It's looks
it's
like a bunch of building blocks. It's cute.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm a fan.
It's very Nintendo looking.
So they go ahead and kind of start with some stuff on Super Mario Brothers, right? Some concept art from a variety of games, including Mario Brothers 3.
Because it's the 40th anniversary.
Exactly.
Right? Which is cool. That is definitely something to celebrate. And so we first come to a lot of Mario announcements. Mm-hmm. And let me just skip ahead here. The first thing, Nintendo Museum. Very cool. If you're in Kyoto, then you can go take a look at that. But I want to get to the other thing here. Oh yeah, in Florida, they're gonna have Nintendo World, Kyoto Marathon. They're a sponsor.
Already do.
Yes, you're right.
It's
you're
open.
Right. They do. Yeah.
But I think they're adding.
Okay.
Yeah, first big one. Go for it.
Mario Galaxy movie coming out next year, right?
Yeah, spring of 2026.
Yeah, that's actually pretty soon. I'm surprised this isn't something they announced sooner. But I actually kind of appreciate it. I don't like it when they announce something and it's 12 months plus. And
right, because we knew that a sequel was in development, right? But we didn't have the release date, and we didn't know that it was specifically for the Galaxy sub-series. So, but yeah, what's your initial feeling on it?
I am excited because I really like Super Mario Galaxy, and I think Super Mario Galaxy, in my opinion, has the best story of any Mario game that I can think of. But I am keeping expectations low just because I don't want to get disappointed. So, The main thing I'm excited about this, and let me know if you want to go back to it and share some additional thoughts, but they said that, let me get to it here, that they're they're going to be releasing Rosalina's storybook physically, and this right here, this is showing that they're going to have the original cast coming back. Obviously, Jack Black is Bowser and all that good stuff. I want to buy that physical book.
Right, that'll come up here in a bit. They do that after the next announcement. But as it's kind of transitioning on screen for you, for the movie itself, I'm actually a bit concerned. And I'm going to plug our Patreon episode that we're recording after this. We're going to do an episode all about adapting media into other forms of media, because it's something that's been on my mind a bit. And this is actually a perfect example where the first Super Mario Brothers movie I enjoyed because it didn't try to do anything that already existed. I think there's certain IPs where you can do direct adaptations and it works, and there's others where it doesn't. And I think a lot of video games, and especially stuff like Mario, if you were to direct a specific game, and not to say that the Super Mario Galaxy movie is just going to be Mario Galaxy, put into movie form. But they are like narrowing, like, this is what we're doing. Because in the first movie, right, you have stuff from Donkey Kong, you have stuff from Mario Kart, you have stuff from the original Super Mario Brothers. Like, there's so many different games that they're pulling from, whereas this one does look to have a bit more of a narrowed theme or focus. And in the past, companies have struggled to adapt movies in that way for the video game medium.
That is a great teaser for our Patreon episode. I agree with that. But
there is one thing that I'm very, very confident in this movie, and it's that score is going to be bumping in the theater. It's going to be the best way to ever listen to the Mario Galaxy score. So I will definitely be seeing this movie in theaters solely for that purpose of seeing that score come at me.
I actually do have a little bit of a fear along with that. And in the first movie, there's, I think, a couple tracks played that were, kind of poppy songs, right? Not necessarily Mario songs. Because the Super Mario Galaxy game has such good music, I really, really hope that they just capitalize on it rather than saying, oh, let's have, I don't know, Jason Mraz or Sabrina Carpenter or whoever, sing a song for the movie. Like, it would just kind of detract from it. But I hope that they just do their thing with Mario Galaxy rather than saying, hey, let's take what happened in the video game and adapt it into a movie.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll translate very well. Yeah. So, those are very, very fair.
Yeah, concerns. So it's pretty exciting. And then they move into their next announcement where they share that Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 will be coming to the Switch 2 in both a dual release, and you can purchase them separately.
Yeah, it's a bundle. So separately, that's like digital, right? If you wanted to buy digital, you can buy it separately. Buy them separately. That was nice. I didn't know about that. I thought it was just the bundle. So having it together will be awesome, because I know a lot of people, I'm sure a ton of people haven't played either of them, like especially younger generations, and especially those that didn't get a chance to buy the Mario 3D All-Star Collection. I have never played Galaxy 2.
It's good.
Yeah.
You like Galaxy 1, right?
Yeah, I liked it.
So expect less of a story, but kind of a refinement of the gameplay.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
That's kind of what I've heard from most people is how that goes. So, yeah. Very cool.
Oh, yeah. And as they kind of wrap this up, right, they kind of show that the Rosalina storybook is coming back, and that there will be additional content within the game, new pages to kind of flesh out some more of that, but also that those new pages won't be in the physical release specifically, so that you're still kind of motivated.
You got to play the game if you want the additional Rosalina lore. And these amiibos look great. Yeah.
I really like the Rosalina one. I like the Mario one too, but I think the Rosalina one is definitely like...
I agree. That's the one to get. That's the one to get.
Yeah.
It's so iconic. Yeah. With her in the library. These are, I believe, $40.
I don't know what amiibo normally cost, so I can't speak to...
Hang on.
I don't think that I own any amiibo.
Actually, I won't do it here because I'm gonna mess up the recording. But they've released the prices, and let me just look it up real quick here. Oh my goodness. I want the Rosalina one, but part of me makes me like, if I'm gonna have the Rosalina one, I also want the Mario one. So but if I buy both, it's gonna be really expensive.
I don't know, man. Look at that Mario one.
Dude, stop.
Well, I'm
$40. It's $40.
40 a piece.
Yeah. Normally I think the new normal price is $30. They used to be like 20 something, I think, or even lower than that. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this. My memory's a little fuzzy. It's been a while since I bought one, but so these are gonna be $40. Some other amiibo that got announced later in the direct, I think, are $50. Yes, they are $50. I remember, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah. So
there you have it.
we'll kind of see, but
I haven't seen pricing on Rosalina's book though.
I haven't either, and it's a little discouraging because, like,
I'm scared, man.
I think in my mind, this is how it's gonna go for this. It's gonna be one of those products where, like, I will immediately transfer from it being, oh, that's an instant buy, to that's way too expensive. Like, I'm not gonna have like a price where I'm like, oh no, yeah, that's reasonable. Like, if they were to say this will be $50, I'd be like, okay, like, I'm gonna buy that just because I love the Mario Galaxy games, right?
Yeah.
But then if it were to be up to like 80, 90, or 100, any of those prices, I'd just be like, that might be too much for me.
50 is kind of like where I'm hoping it is, or less. I think that's the most reasonable. Rosalina's storybook is not long.
No, it's not.
It's really not. And they're not giving you the new pages either. So,
and see, I'm trying, because Liv's a big reader, right? So I've had to buy a lot of, not had to, I've gotten the privilege of buying her many books over the course of our marriage. I think the most expensive single book that I've ever bought was like $40. And it's an actual book. I'm pretty sure it was one of the Harry Potter illustrated editions, actually.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's a full-length novel, right? Like this gorgeous artwork. And so I just, like, I find it hard to justify buying a book for more than that, especially for myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's a lot of money for a book.
I'm just trying to see if they've announced the price.
It's also really cool, like, it's...
Wait. $25. Releases November 25th. It's $25. That's so reasonable. That is so reasonable.
When can you pre-order? Oh, get an email. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sign up. I'm going to do that same thing. I guarantee you, if you want one of these, they will they will sell out. I mean, I can't guarantee that. I guess I shouldn't say that, but I think they will sell out. Yeah, I'm gonna get that email notification set up. I kid you not, I will read this to my child.
Oh no, I definitely will. And Liv's favorite Mario game is the Galaxy game, so like I think that she'll be totally on board and not like be like, oh, that's a little bit weird now. She's gonna be all for it. So
it's such a sweet story. If you haven't played Galaxy, it's really good.
Wow, I'm so happy.
Me too.
That makes me so happy that it's not like I would have paid like up to 50 for it.
I would have paid $50 too.
But Nintendo, if you're listening, I wouldn't have paid $50 for it, so you shouldn't charge more. Anyway, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
They did good. Okay, we got a bunch of Mario
Yeah,
games.
so then
we can
they,
play here.
they continue to
Here's the
share.
next
There's a
one.
couple other things, and then we've got our next new game.
Mario Tennis Fever.
Mhm.
I liked Super Mario Tennis Aces
Mhm.
on the original Switch. I still occasionally play with friends. In fact, I'm hanging out with somebody this Friday, and we plan to play this game.
Nice.
I think this is one of the more underrated Mario sports games, in my opinion. I'm talking about the original Mario Tennis Aces on the Switch. I felt like the gameplay and combat was very fleshed out and balanced and good. So I'm hoping that this just takes that and builds on top of it. I hope they didn't dumb down the gameplay. You do have some additional, gameplay options. Like there's like a ton of different rackets, a ton of characters, so like a lot of combinations that you can play around with and find your best play style. And this is showcasing here some different game modes and stuff. So the single player was really weak on the first one, so I hope this strengthens that a little bit. But I'm looking forward to it. I'll see how the reviews go.
Yeah, I think for me this is something we planned to do a Mario Sports tier list or ranking at some point in the near future, and this is something that'll come up in more depth there. But I really struggle with buying these games for myself just because like a lot of the friends that I hang out with outside of you, like we don't get together and play games.
Yeah, yeah.
So like the justification for buying these types of games is solely like, will Liv and I play it, and will we play it enough to justify buying it?
I don't
And we
think
just won't. So,
yeah.
But I like that they're continuing it, right? Because I do think it's a good sub series and kind of fleshes some things out. So
Yeah, Mario Wonder DLC, right?
yeah,
Pretty cool.
Liv and I are still working through it. It's a good game, you know. It's fun.
Let's skip ahead here. Oh,
And this was actually fascinating. So go ahead and pause it for me real quick.
okay.
So I want you so it says they bring out these flower statues, right? And the flowers in these game, right, they talk at you and stuff. And so they're holding the little statue, and he says, they might talk on their own.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look down at the bottom and you see not an interactive product. And I thought that was so interesting. So I'm like, is there no way for you to trigger them to talk like when you want them to? Or is it something where you set it down, and if you want to show it to like someone who comes over to your house or something, like you just have to wait for it to talk at you? Like I don't really know like what the heck is happening with this little desk toy.
Yeah, I have no idea. My understanding is that and I was trying to look up the price, but I couldn't find it. It just talks on its own, like every now and then, intermittently, randomly. I think that's what it is. There's no sensors on it. There's no interaction with it.
Right. So it's like you couldn't have this on like, I mean, I don't know if what you decorate your nightstand with or your dressers in your room, but like you couldn't have this in your bedroom.
Oh,
It's just in a random in the middle of the night. But like, then where else are you going to put it in the house where it isn't just like constantly interrupting you?
That's a good point. I mean, I hope that there's a way to like, because there's certain products where you can set like timers on it, like little like
Right.
Christmas lights and stuff. I hope there's something like that so that you can set like a, hey, don't talk during this time period.
I mean, I guess worst comes to worst, right? You just take the battery out unless you want it to be talking. So like,
That is such a pain though.
right, like it's inconvenient, but I guess if you really, really want this and they're not as innovative as we would hope, that's an option. I don't know.
Because even if you have this in a different room, unless you have a really big house and you sleep on one corner of your property and then you put it on the very other corner of the property in the basement, you're going to hear it at night.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I put this in my living room and I'm sleeping in my bedroom, I would probably hear it, and it could wake me up, and I might be like, who's in my house.
Right.
I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes in practice. I'm kind of interested.
Yeah. We'll see.
Also pricing. Yeah, we'll have to see. Okay. New Yoshi game.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really, really cute. This art style, I absolutely love. Like, they've nailed it, man. It's so gorgeous. It's so cute looking. I want to love it. But I just know from my personal experience with Yoshi games that I'll get bored of it after a couple levels. Yeah, but I appreciate it for what it is. I probably won't buy it. But if I ever had a chance to buy a secondhand for like $20, I totally would, and I want to experience it. I'm curious to see how the reviews go. If the reviews say it's really good, I might get it, but I don't know.
Right. That's the problem with the Yoshi series in general, is that each of the Yoshi games that have come out since the Wii U era have they look gorgeous, right? Whatever art style they go for works really, really well. The games are just so easy, painfully easy, and there isn't really a way to self-impose more challenge to it like there is in a game like Pokemon or Kirby. Like, I know people hate on Kirby and some of it's justified, but try to play Kirby without using any power-ups, and you can have some fun with that, right? Like, there's a way to challenge it. And the new Kirby game on the Switch, Forbidden Land, is not just
I've only heard good things about that
game,
one.
right? Like, I've really enjoyed playing through it in bits and pieces. So I hope that this is kind of similar to that. But in all honesty, in order for a Yoshi game to become more accessible to people of all ages as far as entertainment, I don't think this is the game to do it, but I'm glad that it exists, and it would be great for any of you that have young siblings or young children. Great first game and very wholesome. So.
Yeah. I kind of wonder though, because when I think about the games that I was interested in as a kid, the difficulty of the game was almost never a factor when considering what game am I going to ask for Christmas.
Sure.
And so, I almost wonder whether they're even taking the right approach with the Yoshi franchise, because what if they made a game that looks just like that and works just like that, except the difficulty curve is closer to a Mario platformer or something like that.
Right.
I feel like it would sell just the same, but just get better critical acclaim.
Well, I feel like Yoshi's Island on the N64 wasn't a mindlessly easy game.
Dude, that was hard. When I played that as a kid, that was pretty hard.
Right, and I think even revisiting that last level or two has a couple points that might take you a couple tries.
Yeah.
So
that I think was the sweet spot. The one on the N64, that one you're talking about. I really like that game. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Yoshi deserves a little more.
But I also can see if families are buying this, right, and you need a game specifically for a younger person to play, I can see why it's helpful to have a game that is on that easier side.
Yeah, so they can finish the game.
But I guess it's just kind of why don't you create multiple games within the franchise, right? Why is it just that this franchise specifically has been chosen to be the ultra easy one, right?
Right.
You just there could be some more there, but that's okay. They go through a couple of third party stuff. I didn't really have anything to talk from it, so we're just gonna move right on to the next one, which is so Miitomo. That's what it's called, right?
Dude, I don't even remember. I never even played the original one or anything. Oh, Tomodachi Life. Tomodachi Life.
Tomodachi Life. My bad, Tomodachi Life. Fans, I'm sorry for absolutely butchering that name.
Did you ever play?
Right. So I haven't, but I've seen so many clips on Instagram and stuff of other people playing, right? And it's so funny. Yeah. This game has such a cult following.
It does. It really does.
I'm really glad that this exists. I feel this had been announced before, right? But they just went into a lot more detail on what this specific entry looks like. And I'm really happy it exists because at the very least, it means that now my Instagram feed is going to be updated with a bunch of new different scenarios that are equally hilarious.
A lot of people will be happy. A lot of people will completely forget that this exists. It's like one or the other.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to like bring in any new fans, right? This is just like a gesture of good faith to people that have been playing the original Tamagotchi life since it came out. That like,
and I think it'll sell decent. Probably they'll make money, but it's not.
And they'll know what to expect, right? Like I don't think they're expecting this to be a groundbreaking anything.
Yeah,
no. So,
yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm skipping over a few, but we've got Hades 2 dropping on the Switch.
Yeah, I don't think we need to stop here. You can continue to let it play or skip forward as you want. I do like that this is a timed console release. I think that is a strategy that works actually really well for a game like this.
I didn't think Nintendo would get Hades 2 as a exclusive, timed exclusive, but they did.
Because like a lot of people love Hades, right? And love this first game and have been waiting for game 2 for a while. And it's been in beta for a long time. So people have kind of already been tinkering around with it. But having a full release timed exclusive to the Switch is just like one of those moves where you're like, yeah, like Nintendo's trying to
a really good third party
cater
support,
to people. And so,
yeah,
you know, I've talked about my distaste for most Greek mythology products just as a personal preference. Nothing against it. It just doesn't do it for me most of the time. But yeah, no, I mean, can't deny how cool it is, how good this trailer is. I love
this trailer looks so
animated
clean,
release.
Man.
So
it looks so good. I know it's not for me, but I appreciate it for what it is.
You tried the first game, right? I gave it a pretty good fair shot.
I did.
A good good couple of runs. You know,
I played it for a few hours.
Yeah.
I just got frustrated with it, but
yeah, roguelike mechanics, right? It's got to find a tough or the right balance for sure. So, is this the first time that these amiibos were announced? Did they not do this in the Air Riders release?
No, this was the first time. I mean, he said, I'm pretty sure he mentioned there would be amiibo, but this is the first time that they actually talked about how it works, what it looks like, its mechanics and stuff.
And isn't it the most Sakurai thing to have them work like very similarly to how they do in Smash?
It's so Sakurai. Like even if you look at the UI, like and the text and the boxes, and like this has Smash's signature all over it.
Yeah.
Which is cool to see. And yeah, the biggest thing, I wouldn't even call it like a gimmick. It's honestly like a core feature of it is that you can swap the riders back and forth.
Right, onto
different stars and stuff. And so far we've got Bandana Waddle Dee and Kirby, but there's going to be additional ones that are announced in the future that I'm sure will be swappable with these guys. And these ones are $50, $49.99. So
I'm going to be completely honest. I feel like that in comparison to the Mario Galaxy ones, it does kind of make sense that these are a little bit more expensive just because you have the multi-factor thing, you know?
Yeah,
because you have a ship and a figure, and they're made for a game that's like designed for these to be used in a very specific way, right?
Yeah.
So like I can kind of understand it. I know a lot of people don't like increased prices, which I totally get.
I think the main part that's like I don't know. I'm probably going to get Kirby Air Riders, but I don't think I'm going to get the amiibo.
Sure.
Because the thing is, like, you buy one amiibo, right? That's $50 plus tax. So, what, close to $60? That's the price of a full game, man.
Right.
And honestly, if you're not going to buy one of these just to have one, because the whole idea is that you can swap them. So you're going to want to collect more. Now you're talking well over $100. And if you're going to try to collect all of them that they drop, like, it's going to cost you hundreds. And I just feel like it's not realistic to expect people to be able to buy these and actually collect them and swap them around and stuff because it's so freaking expensive.
Sure.
Like the only people that are going to be able to buy these are like, millennials that grew up with this that have disposable income. Like no kids are going to be able to buy these. Like there's no way. And if they tell their parents, "Hey, I want this like set of Kirby and Bandana Wally for Christmas," like, "Oh, how much is it?" Like, "Oh, it'll cost you $100 plus just for these on top of the game." It's steep.
That's your Christmas.
It's really steep. Like I understand why it's priced at what it is, because yeah, it probably should be more expensive than just the Mario and Rosalina ones because of its functionality. But and I'm sure it took development to figure these things out. But when you compare it to the price of the game itself and stuff, like it just doesn't really make a lot of sense for me. Um, yeah, I think it would be a different story if these were 40 and then the Mario and Rosalinas were like 35 or something like that. But I don't know. I guess that's just wishful thinking. Oh, brother! Age of Imprisonment. Mm-hmm. I am so freaking hyped for this game. This is a day one buy. Day one, I'm buying it. Oh my gosh, man. And Nintendo has confirmed this game is going to be canon. Mm-hmm. It's freaking canon. It's not a little, alternate timeline, none of that business. This is actually what happened when Zelda was traveling back in time. The gameplay looks so smooth. It's locked 60 FPS. Oh man, it's going to play so much better than the previous Hyrule Warriors. And oh my gosh, man, I'm just so freaking ready for this game, dude. This has been one of the games I'm most anticipating for like the last couple of years. But I know I'm in the minority. I know this is not for everybody. So I'm excited, but I just hope they have a really healthy roster of playable characters. Because we don't have Link, we don't have
I feel like that's one of the worries, right? You have the 4 champions.
I'm worried about that. Yeah.
I guess you can. I mean, as we see there, right? You can add in. You have your Gerudo champion, and then you can have a couple other Gerudo play styles as well. But I do wonder how much variety in characters there will be, because I feel like when we played, because I know that you and your brother played. Well, I know you guys played the
original.
Age of Calamity. Played both. Right, you played the original, but I know that you specifically spent a lot of time with Age of Calamity, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you and me spent a lot of time with the original Hyrule Warriors when it got ported to Switch. Mm-hmm. And I feel like in that game, like there was a lot, like each character played very distinctly, right? And then you swapped out your weapons, and that changed things up.
Yeah, because you have such a huge roster, and a lot of the characters had multiple weapons, which completely changes how you play them, so...
Right, and so I think that's my one thing. I mean, I probably am not going to buy this game anyway, right? Because I do feel like this is a game that's better suited for co-op, for playing it alongside another person. Mm-hmm. And Liv just doesn't have the interest in this type of game to make it worthwhile for me to buy personally. But I'm hopeful. I hope it does great because, and I'm excited to see us get a little bit more information on Zelda's time.
Yeah, man.
Because I love Tears of the Kingdom a whole bunch.
Also, when I buy this game, it will likely be the very first time I try Game Share. I am so freaking excited for Game Share because it's mind-boggling to me that it works backwards compatible with the original Switch and the Switch Mini, or the Switch Lite, I mean. So, like, my little brother, for example... no, actually, one of our Patreon supporters, he only has a Switch 1. He doesn't have a Switch 2. But if we're on the go, we don't have to cram on my Switch 2 only. Right. We can game share and each have our own consoles to play. Yeah. And I'm so curious to see how that's going to go. What's the performance going to look like? What's the load times look like? Is there lag? Because I think this is the kind of game that is... It is like graphically gonna push the original Switch kind of to its limits, really. So I'm curious to see how that goes. But yeah, I will definitely report back on it. What are we looking at?
This is Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to share on that. Sorry, Dragon Quest fans.
Dude, this
So,
was such a surprise.
Virtual Boy coming back.
Do people even know
Um,
what this is? Like people that are younger than us?
I feel like this is part of Nintendo's history that if you are a Nintendo fan, you learn about just because it was like such a catastrophic failure.
That's true. That's
But
true.
like I never played with an original Virtual Boy.
I've never seen one in person.
Like
Yeah.
I think what's most confusing to me is that sometimes this is how products will go, right? You'll have a product that does well and is beloved. Or you'll have a product that doesn't do well, but like retrospectively people talk about like, oh, this was underrated or
It's just such novelty.
it just didn't get enough love. And then you have products like this that failed and that you didn't really have anyone asking to bring back. So it is kind of confusing to me. It's like what caused this? Like, is there like a secret pocket of Virtual Boy lovers that I just didn't
Yeah, why are they making this? Dude, I don't
know?
know. This is just one of Nintendo's curveballs, I guess. No pun intended, because there's Mario serving a tennis ball.
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, right? Because you just insert the Switch, you have those game files already. You just upload them and resell them, right? And then you just have to create an updated peripheral that works with the Switch specifically, right? So I guess like from a development cost, there probably isn't a whole lot that went.
I mean, honestly,
it's not like they
though,
need this to succeed without it being like horrible,
but
right?
the thing is, I thought they would just like, when I saw the Virtual Boy logo, my first thing was like, oh, they're going to add this to NSO and you're going to be able to play it on your TV, because they're going to iterate it so that you can play it on your TV. But then no, they're dropping straight up hardware for it so that you can actually play the Virtual Boy like it was originally intended, which is crazy. I don't know why they're doing this. I mean, it's cool.
Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that like maybe this could be a test for like a fully VR Nintendo console in the future, just on like how they would react to it?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because from what I've heard, the games aren't even that great. Like I've heard the tennis one's all right. I've heard the Wario one's all right. I mean, I don't know, but it's cool though, and it's like because of the novelty factor, I also wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people jump on those. Like whatever hardware Nintendo releases, they usually sell pretty well. Like, when you talk about like the NSO exclusive controllers, the N64, sure, like all that stuff, they're all the supply gets eaten up because people just want to collect Nintendo stuff. And I mean it's cool, yeah. I mean I'm not gonna get it. I feel like I would play it for a couple times and it would collect dust.
Right. It's one of those things that is a nice novelty, right? You said it. It's a novelty and you enjoy it and then you can show it to other people, but it's not going to be the long-standing thing.
If any of our huge Virtual Boy fans, please let us know. Fatal Frame 2, the freaking scary looking game. The original was on the DS, right?
I feel like this has always been a Nintendo release.
I cannot do scary games, so I'm just going right past that. And
then they had kind of another third-party stuff, right? Stardew
4-player
Valley.
local split screen for Stardew Valley and game share for Stardew Valley. That's pretty huge for Stardew Valley lovers. That is a really cool announcement.
Because the new Switch controls have mouse controls, they're adding that into the version.
That's right. So thank you for reminding me.
People are excited about that, which is great.
Okay, let me skip
Suika game, Suika kind of a fad that came out, and I think you can leave it here.
Okay. This when I first saw this, I had no idea what to make of it. And this came up and I was like, oh, Metroid Prime 4, right? Beyond. And then this happened, and then I was immediately like, oh, it's a spin-off game to hold us over until Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And then you see more, and, eventually you see that it's, oh no, this is it. This is Prime 4 Beyond. What do you think about this?
I love this.
Yeah.
Like, unironically, I think I think the idea of, these different Metroid biomes being in a large world and you having to traverse it, right? I like the narrative structure of that. I like they've given you a way where it's not like completely a hassle. I don't know. I like a good vehicle in a game as long as it controls well. Like it actually like really does. It's one of those things that like if it's not there, I don't care.
Yeah.
But if it is there and it works well,
Yeah.
it like really does add to my enjoyment of a game.
One criticism I heard of this is that, hey, why did they show, and let me back up a little bit just to so we can see. It's like the least impressive looking overworld ever, where there's like absolutely nothing. It's just like a desert and she's just like fighting enemies. But I don't know if I necessarily agree with that assessment, because when looking back on this now, clearly you need all that space to fight enemies, right? Like you're traveling very quickly. If you had buildings and stuff left and right everywhere, you wouldn't really have this freedom to be able to move around the way that she's moving.
And Metroid's always been about exploring alien planets that are desolate, right? Like I don't feel like that's new. It's just because the scope of the game has been expanded to a point where the tech allows for larger spaces. Like I guess it feels like a natural evolution to me,
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think as I'm watching this again, I think what's happening is because before you travel from like either planet to planet or part of the planet, section to section in your ship,
right?
You wouldn't really actually do that traversal on your own. But what's happening is you get a motorcycle, so you get to do the traversal on your own between areas. Mm-hmm. And between areas, there's enemies and maybe a couple things to explore. So it just brings that world together, and I think it's just going to provide a more immersive experience. I think it's only going to be a positive, honestly.
I'm completely in favor of this, and has only kind of reiterated to me that like by the end of 2025, I don't know if this will be a day one buy as much as I'd like it to be, just because I don't have a lot of time that I spend playing video games right now. Mm-hmm. But like, with like Christmas break and that break coming around and stuff, like at that point, like I plan on getting this and nice, playing it by the end of the year.
Nice.
So we'll see.
Good stuff. Okay. Bonanza DLC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. I still haven't played Bonanza. I have only heard good things about it. A lot of my friends and families have played this game and love it. So I feel like I really should, rather than play my little Pokemon ROM hack that gives no dollars to Nintendo. Okay.
So Ditto becomes a human.
And it's basically like Pokemon, Animal Crossing, Minecraft. Uh-huh. It's really cute. I honestly wish that the protagonist was just a little girl and not a Ditto turning into a little girl.
Sure.
The implications are just a little jarring to me.
Sure.
But I get that this is... A lot of the mechanics wouldn't make sense if you weren't Ditto with these abilities to be able to copy moves and stuff. But it's cute. And it's not that deep, so...
Right. I think this is going to be an unpopular opinion, especially among Pokemon fans or Ditto fans specifically. I think this is something that I would have preferred to see as like a Pokemon TV show or movie project instead of a game. Because I really, really like the idea. I just can't imagine that like a whole bunch of people were clamoring for a Ditto Animal Crossing,
Erica, my wife, is most excited for this game of all the things in the Direct.
Well, there you go. It only took 5 seconds for me to be wrong this time. There you go.
She told me that. Yeah, she's like, I want that game.
So you're going to buy this?
I may have to buy it for her. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how how long her interest sticks around. Because sometimes she says that about games, and then like when it's actually
Sure.
dropping, the hype is kind of faded, and she's like, I was like, would you actually play this if I bought it? Because it's like 60, $70, and she'll be like,
Well, yeah. If the two of you get it and she plays it and enjoys it, that's great. I will say, one thing that is slightly unappealing to me, just off of this reveal trailer, is it looks like it's just a bunch of Gen 1 Pokemon again. Like, now, I know that's not completely true. I know that there were exceptions, right? I saw Zora in there. I saw a couple evolutions that weren't from Gen 1. But
it is primarily Gen 1. Yeah.
it's, and that's fine. That's fine, but a little disappointing for me. All right. Pokemon Legends ZA. I heard someone talk about this, and I thought their perspective was so interesting. But before I share that,
okay,
your initial thoughts. Just, we've talked about this, I think, off camera before, but I don't know if we've reiterated.
Yeah,
for the listeners.
It's not. It was day one buy for me before. Now I don't think it's a day one buy for me. Yeah, I guess I've kind of lost a little bit of my hype for it after I played Scarlet, but your thoughts?
So I heard someone else say, I can't remember where, I wish I could give them credit, but someone shared how we don't, like, in the roll-up or in, like, all the gameplay stuff, we've seen very, very little of gameplay from during the day, right? Like, they've definitely been leaning into the, once it turns to night, right? The battle system comes out. So it's like, so what do you do during the day? Right? And like, that's like an entire side of the game that we don't have a crazy amount of information on. And this person had a positive approach to it where they're like, I think it's because there's like a major gameplay feature that they're kind of like leaving as a surprise, right? Or something that they just don't feel the need to shove down your throat to get you to buy it. And I'm intrigued to see what that is and if that does anything to change my interest level in it. Because I think with you, like similarly to you, my interest in it's kind of waned just because all we've seen is battling at night.
I think that perspective is incredibly generous. And one thing I would say to that is, when has Nintendo / Game Freak ever done that with a Pokemon game?
They haven't.
There's nothing, man. There's no way. There's no way they're hiding some really cool mechanic during the daytime. If they had that, they would be talking about it left and right.
I don't know, man. I do think that so I wasn't around when the first Legends game was coming out, right? That game released when I was on my mission.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the hype and lead up was like for that. I'm hoping that this game is a pleasant surprise. I'm hoping that, because I think a lot of people are kind of like us, where like there isn't as much interest in it as when it was originally announced, probably just because it's been so long.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping it comes out and people are like, oh no, like you should go play this, because I feel like that's what it was with the first Legends game. Like I got a lot of recommendations to play that game.
Me too.
And for me, lived up to most of the hype. I really enjoyed it.
Liked it too.
So
did you say you're planning to get? You're just gonna wait for reviews?
Yeah,
and see,
yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Pokemon is. I'm in such an interesting spot with Pokemon right now.
Yeah. Oh, and the Pikachu or the Raichu evolution, X and Y.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't really feel strongly one way or the other on that.
Yeah, another couple third-party stuffs.
Yeah, going through. Oh, sports for
just
for
I think
Alex here.
Yeah, football club. I think football club manager is what it's called. And then they brought this out.
Yeah.
So at first I was looking at this and I was like, I knew pretty much right off. I was like, okay, this is a Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
But I'm not very familiar with the Resident Evil franchise. And so I was like, oh, is this a side story? Because I know they do a lot of those. Is this a remake of one of the games? Like, is this Resident Evil 1 remade or something? I don't know. Or like a reimagining.
Yeah.
And then they dropped it. It's freaking Resident Evil 9, man. Like, that's major news.
I know. I know. That was my first initial thought too. It's like, okay, this is either Resident Evil or something that's trying to be Resident Evil, or like Resident Evil spin-off or something that's trying to be Resident Evil. But it's just full-blown Resident Evil. Like, um, yeah, definitely not for me. I would poop my pants playing this game, but this is very, very hype for Resident Evil fans.
I feel like for so right because like people have been waiting for this game for a while. I feel like the last one came out 4 or 5 years ago. I want to say.
Something like that, I think.
So I think
Yeah.
it's been a while.
February. That's
Right,
coming
and the
up.
fact that they're announcing the release date for it, before anyone else announced it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I love to see that, Nintendo has constantly, and rightfully so, been kind of dogged for not supporting third parties and just focusing on their first party stuff, which I thought was a smart move, but is something where it's like, now that they have a system that can kind of keep up with where the rest of third party developers are,
Yeah.
like they've taken something that's been a complaint for so long and been like, okay, sorry that it took us so long, but we hear ya. Here's what we got. And like, I just feel like they're nailing it, right? Like the stuff that they are getting, the stuff that are timed exclusives, thinking back to the From Software exclusive that they'll have, like they seem to be hitting the right notes and getting that variety that people have wanted for so long. And I'm happy to see it.
I don't think there's any demographic of gamer that would get a Switch 2 and be starved for games that they want to play. Like there's something for everybody on the Switch 2. Okay, this was the most hype thing for me.
And as soon as I saw what it was, I knew that this was gonna be.
I saw this shot right here and I was like, I'm eating good next year whenever this thing drops. So, new Fire Emblem game announced, and I immediately was like paying attention to the setting, the character designs, their outfits, the art style, because that is such an integral part of the game. And as much as I enjoyed the gameplay of Engage, I think Fire Emblem Engage has, I think, in my opinion, this might be controversial, but I think this has the best gameplay of any Fire Emblem game to date. But I think Three Houses has the best immersion, character development. Like every single character in Three Houses, like their personalities are deep and really grounded and really well developed. And Engage, you've got toothpaste for hair, and you've got a lot of characters that just don't look like they belong in a war setting. And eventually I got over it, because the gameplay was fun, and I'm a gameplay first and foremost kind of guy. But this design, how it looks, how it's playing, oh man, it looks so good. It looks so clean. And I'm just so happy with it. Like I think they've struck a sweet spot of, it's not quite as like grayscale and gritty looking as Three Houses was, but it doesn't look like a costume fest that Fire Emblem Engage was, and it's got a really fine medium to it. And as soon as I noticed that guy wielding a sword, it moved and the way it glowed and stuff, and I was like, wait a minute. That looks like a weapon from Fire Emblem Three Houses. What's going on? And then at the very end of the trailer, you see Sothis, who is the I think she's called the progenitor god. She was much younger in Three Houses. She's a lot older in this game, which implies, and she's like a god, so like she ages, super
Slowly compared to the rest
slowly
of us.
compared to the other people. Yeah. So that implies that this takes place in the universe of Three Houses, but probably like centuries later. I am so interested to see what this game does with that foundation, because I think Three Houses foundation, in terms of lore, story, everything, they had so much material to work with there that I was like, I really want them to build on top of that in the next Fire Emblem game, but I don't think it's going to happen because, they did Engage, they did something totally new. They're probably not going to go back to it, but they are doing it. But having it be years and years and years later, gives them the creative freedom to be able to create totally new characters, new setting, do whatever they want, and they can just have Sothis be there as the person in the back that connects the lore all the way back to Three Houses for people that appreciate that. And oh man, like just such tasteful, realistic looking character designs, and the colors are good. Oh man, dude, okay, I'm gonna shut up because it just looks so good. It just looks so good.
No, this is gonna be your game of the year next year, and I don't think it's particularly close. Like I can't think of anything else that would.
Oh my gosh. And this is what I love about like Fire Emblem trailers. They show off a little bit of everything. They show off a little bit of cutscenes, they show off the characters, and they show off the gameplay. So you know what it's gonna look like when you play the actual game. Yeah. They just kind of drop it all. And
did they drop a release date as well?
I don't think so. I think it's just next year, right?
It's just for 2026.
Hang on. Oh, you know what? I forgot I have my notes. Let me pull it up. 2026. Yeah. That's what I have down in my notes. So I'm assuming this is we're probably like a year out.
Sure.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, so that's the direct. I think for me, I was kind of telling you where a lot of this I like the concepts of. There's concepts that don't apply to me personally because of my specific tastes in video games, where I don't know if there's crazy ton that is new to this direct that I'll be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And this might sound odd considering how much of the direct it took up, but the fact that I felt like what we're getting to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Super Mario Brothers franchise was a bit lacking.
I've heard that from others as well.
Because Galaxy is already on the Switch through 3D All-Stars. Super Mario Wonder getting some updates is a thing. We knew a Mario movie was coming, so we just know that it's themed around Galaxy. Mario Tennis. So like I guess I don't know what I was expecting, right? Because it's too close to Mario Wonder to have a new 2D Mario game, and with Bonanza just coming out and that being the team that worked on Mario Odyssey, it's unrealistic to expect them to have had a new 3D Mario to show off. So I don't know what I was expecting or what I would have done different. It just did feel like for such a monumental anniversary of a monumental franchise for this company, it just seemed like it was kind of glossed over, I guess, or didn't have the energy that I would have expected.
Yeah, no, I hear you, and I've heard that too. I think it's just realistically, I don't know what else they could have done.
Right.
Because of the Bonanza situation, because
Right.
that, the Mario Odyssey team worked on that. So I think it was just poor timing of things. But at the same time, like, I don't think working on Bonanza was a mistake. Like, that game has been pretty successful, and it's been great for Donkey Kong too. So it's like,
that's gonna be a game of the year contender. It's definitely gonna win like any of the family awards or anything like that. Like
yeah.
Haven't played it, but like has been a good thing for Nintendo, a very good thing. So
yeah,
I get it.
I do hope that the 50-year anniversary, 10 years from now, that better be really big, because that's half a century, man.
35.
That's crazy,
that's a
man.
long time.
Yeah.
Oof. It'll be old.
Do you think we'll still be doing this in 10 years? 10 years, dude.
I love to say yes.
Yeah.
I find it really hard to believe that our lives will still be in a state where that's an option.
Uh-huh. I guess we'll see, right?
So stay tuned.
If you want us to stick around for another 10 years, you can support us on Patreon.
You
There's
make us
also a lot of
full-time
good content on
podcast
there.
creators, then
Yeah, then hey, we will
what
do
am I
it.
gonna do? So
Yeah, thanks for listening. Let us know your thoughts on the direct. If there are games that we didn't talk about that you're really excited for, please join us over on Discord and start up a chat in there. It's a good time. We talk about a lot of different things. Let me give a quick thanks to our Patreon supporters. We've got our Down Earth Cockatiels, including Joshua, Tyler, and Matthew, and our Down Earth Parakeets, including J Mauer, Nicholas, and Noah. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you in the next episode. We're about to go record a Patreon episode, so if you want to check that out, we'll see you over there.
Bye-bye.